I'm bad at that. But hey, guys, I'm here for the very special tier list. We're doing another tier list today. I'm very stoked to get us going. I'm starting right on time, so I'm feeling good today, guys. Well, I'm actually not feeling good. I'm feeling kind of lonesome, kind of depressed. My friend just, I'm proud of him. He went off to college today, but it's kind of rough whenever someone leaves you and all that stuff. And I'm going to be moving away soon from him. So I've been dealing with some emotional times, but you know what? It's not about me. It's about you guys. And I'm here for you. I'm doing this for you guys. This happy belated Friday the 13th. And I wasn't able to do anything last night because I was, busy hanging out with that friend. And then I also was busy watching some of my friend Jason Nike's show where he did a Friday the 13th awards show. So go check that out, guys. That was just all sorts of awesome. So definitely give him a subscription and go check him out. He did some awesome stuff. We've got Aiden here, says hello, man. So happy that you've been a part of every single stream I've been doing lately. And so, yeah, I'm really excited to kick off this tier list for you guys. As you know, my last tier list was the M. Night Shyamalan tier list, and you guys can go check that out. This time I have all the films, so I'm not going to mess up. There's not going to be any technical difficulties this time, so I have it all situated, and I'm excited to do this. This is my Friday the 13th tier list, celebrating a day late, but you know what? It's all good. So, so let's see this. I'm going to go to share screen, and then I'll get this going here soon, so you guys can see the actual tier list. Cool. So are you guys able to see the tier? I'm able to see the tier. Oh, and first off, this is perfect for celebration because before that, there's my Jason Lives poster, my Friday the 13th remake poster, and I've got my Jason Lives shirt on. So, hey, I'm in the mood today to do this. So I'm super stoked. I'm ready to get this going, guys. And yeah, so we'll start off. I obviously like all my tier lists. All of them are random except for the first and last. The first film is going to be the first film that was released, the original, and then the last film on the list is going to be the most recent, so the remake in this case. That's how I do all my tier lists. Everything else is completely randomized in all sorts of random orders. So, I will be including. I would be doing 12 films because I will be including Freddy versus Jason, which I still may review for you guys. I've been meaning because all my friends on all these other YouTube channels have been doing their review series, and I just was so busy the weekend I was going to do Freddy versus Jason that I was not able to review that. But I will review that for you guys soon if I get the chance. So, but starting off with the original Friday the 13th. Oh, and before I actually get this kicked off, I want to read you off all the categories I have. So I've got Slashic, which is like great to like amazing, because that's one thing about this franchise is there's only one film on this list that I think is truly like amazing. The rest are like great to good and then to bad. So Slashic is kind of a combination of great and amazing. And then there's just a good old fun time, which is just, you know what? Sit back, relax, have a good fun time. And that's what this film is. And then there's the okay tier, which is like, it ain't bad. Yeah, it ain't bad. And it's also not good either. It's like right down the middle. It's all right. And then there's bad, which we all know what bad is. But then there's kill, 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 which is bottom of the barrel trash. Kill it, whack it with your machete, stab it as many times as you can. That's bottom of the barrel trash. So that's all the categories I have today for the tier list. Now, kicking off with the original Friday the 13th. You know me. I gotta put it in the slasher tier. This film is just a classic. It literally is a classic for a reason. It inspired all these other films to come out here. And while it wasn't the first of these slashers that was like Halloween, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, stuff like that, it really revitalized the slasher genre in the 80s. Like it actually helped uh kind of hone in all these like cheesy 80s slashers that we got that were just tons of fun. So Friday the 13th was one of those, and it still holds up. I mean, sure, the acting isn't the best, but like some of the stories that you hear, like how with the whole blood and how they had to blow that in it and it made it squirt out of Kevin Bacon's throat, and then the whole like the whole and there will be some spoilers here too, guys. Just letting you know, in certain movies there will be some that won't spoil, but this is the original. If you haven't seen the original Friday the 13th, then I don't know what to tell you. But the twist with the killer actually being the mother is such a cool twist. I love that twist. It's one of the best twists in horror cinema. Betsy Palmer does such an amazing job with the role. Alice is an okay final girl. She's not really all that great of a final girl, honestly. But as far as just atmosphere, mood, all this, Friday the 13th is just such a like in the award show, which I'm featured in at the beginning. Thank you. You can go check that out on Jason Knight's channel. Um, in that, I talk about how Friday the 13th really feels like these films really feel like you're like at a bonfire, just telling ghost stories, and it feels very homey and all this stuff. And that's this film. That's this film. It's really just so like uh it's just so atmospheric and has brought on so many fans. Fans just, come together to celebrate this film and this franchise. So, and this was the start of it all. So, yeah, this is absolutely a slashic. And before I get to the next one, I'll take some of your, and then I'll get some of yours here. Oh, I already did Aiden's first one. Aiden also says, that's some awesome posters. Thank you, man. We got those at FYE. Love those. And then he says, like your crazy category list. Appreciate that. I like it too. I always come up with fun little names in my tier lists. And then Goodreal says part 7, which is next. He says, oh, hold up, guys. I'm sorry. I'm just charging my computer. It's about to die. So just bear with me real quick. I will be almost ready here. Okay, cool. I'm all set. Goodreal says, part 7 better not be anything lower than just a good time. Oh yeah. Well, I'm not going to spoil because that's next. But, and then Ross says, I enjoyed it, but there should have been more build up to Mrs. Voorhees. I can understand that. All right. So, next up is the one Brett mentioned, which is Friday the 13th, Part 7. Yes, this was the film that is infamously known as the probably least goriest Friday the 13th movie ever made, because the MPAA butchered this film, and they completely took all the gore out, and the director had such high hopes of making this was such a gory film, and they wouldn't let him do it. And that's why the coolest kill in this entire movie is a sleeping bag kill, where he bangs the girl against the sleeping bag while she's in there, and it is super awesome, iconic kill. But it is just such a bummer that we couldn't get this. And around the time that that this film was coming out, they were really trying to focus on that whole Freddy versus Jason thing right now, and they really couldn't get to that right around this time. That they uh, they couldn't really get to that. So what they did is they pretty much did a Carrie versus Jason, which was just as awesome. Seeing this girl with telekinesis wrecking havoc with Jason, both of them just causing shit. I loved it. Now, I will say this too. Tina is one of my favorite final girls in this franchise. She's underrated. I absolutely love her. She is just, to me, one. If this was like tiering the final girls, which I may do that as well too, guys. That'd be a lot of fun. If this is like tiering the final girls, I would put her like in the very, very top category somewhere. Not the very, very top, but like not like number one, but she'd be dang close. I absolutely love the character of Tina. And this was Kane Hodder coming back as Jason, and this was his first time coming into the role as Jason. He does such a terrific job. He's probably the most popular Jason because he's been Jason 4 times. Let's see, 4 times. And yeah, and he's not my personal favorite Jason, but he does such a good job. This is the best look of Jason that we've ever had, with the chains and the gross ear, like just grossness to him. And as soon as he gets his mask taken off, he looks like he has a face only a mother could love. He's just so gross and disgusting, and I just love what he did with the role. I love the characters. Love Tina. I just gotta put it not on Slash It because it does have a few issues, but just a good old fun time. I'm gonna put it on that category because it's one of my biggest guilty pleasures. I love me some Part 7. So before I get to Part 4, okay, well, there are no recent comments, so I will get to Part 4. This is the one that universally regarded by fans in the franchise as their favorite film in the entire franchise. It's not my personal favorite film in the entire franchise. I can still think of maybe some others that I prefer that I'll get to whenever I rank them all. But I gotta say though that this film is definitely one of the best. Friday the 13th, final chapter. They always did that in the 80s. Final Friday, final chapter of this, and final this, final that. It was never the finals. They always made more money and all that stuff. And I'm glad it didn't end here because my favorite came later on. So, the Friday the 13th, the final chapter, it's the one with Corey Feldman as Tommy Jarvis. It's got Ted White as Jason, who does such a fantastic job. My favorite Jason, I will say that. That is my favorite Jason performance, is Ted White in the role of Jason in this film. And was just such a fun movie. I think this is the one that had the sexy twins that everyone loves. Oh, man. Those are fine. And then you've got the shower death. This has some of the coolest kills in it. The Jason death. This has Tom Savini coming back in the makeup chair. He did the makeup for the first film. He's doing the makeup here again. And he's just one of the best makeup artists. And Friday the 13th Part 4 just is probably one of the most atmospheric, I'd say, of the entire franchise. It just provides you with so much atmosphere and so much. The score is haunting. There's a lot to it that actually is very effective and holds up really well. And to me, it's just a really solid entry, and it's the one that you see in the thumbnail here with this picture. I gotta put Friday the 13th, the final chapter, in slashic territory. This is such a good movie. If you have not seen the final chapter, I highly recommend it. I would. I just what they did with the next installment was a bummer, but with this one, it definitely was just. It's one of the best. One of my favorite slashers. I love it. And then we've got right here. We've set says I think the sack on his head is creepier. I will get to that. Eventually here. And then we've got the J-Man from J-Man's Movie Cave. Go check out his award show, guys. That was such a great time with yours truly featured in it at the beginning. Thank you for including me, J-Man. I had such a blast doing that little video for you, and I loved the style that you did. So go check out his award show for Friday the 13th. He was the headliner last night, and it was absolutely great. He says, "Hey, everyone. Great. Glad to have you here, man." And he's going to be doing a Star Wars award show in May where yours truly will be a presenter. So that'll be exciting, guys. So definitely go and subscribe to him and check out that video. So next up, maybe I won't talk about this one. Next up, maybe I'll have this guy, Jason Voorhees himself, talking about Friday the 13th, Part 3. This is the Part 3 Jason here that I have, the statue of him. And what's cool is this statue, you can take it off and his arm and put a machete in there. So you can have a machete or you can have the axe. So yeah, that's my part 3 Jason here. And yeah, so it's that thing I got from the comic book store a while back, and right when they were closing, I wanted to get one last item, so I got that, and I think I made a really good purchase. I love that thing, and it's one of my favorite statues. And it's the Friday the 13th Part 3 Jason statue, so it's fitting. Yeah, this film is probably one of the ones I grew up watching the most. This is Friday the 13th, technically Part 3D, because they had a 3D thing where you could watch it in 3D. And I actually owned it in 3D. I had like the paper 3D glasses and everything. And I owned it in 3D, and I'd watch it in 3D a lot as a kid. It was fun in 3D. I loved the 3D. It had the such cool kills in 3D with a pitchfork or the eye popping out at the screen. So they had so many cool kills like that. And this was the first film that we had that implemented Jason with the hockey mask on. This was such a fun ride. However, that being said, while I like the Final Girl a lot, watching it nowadays, it's not one of the entries I really go back to a lot. It's one of the ones that, as a kid, if this was as a kid, watching it for nostalgia purposes, I'd put this up there in slashic territory. This thing was one of the epitomes of my childhood. However, Friday the 13th Part 3, I would put on the okay tier. It ain't bad. It's not a bad movie. I enjoy this movie, but it's just not up to par with some of the other ones on there. The mask, it was first time. It was kind of cheesy a little bit to me. There was that one character that no one else likes in the film, and it does have some of, as far as the cast goes, it probably does have some of the most, I guess you'd say, forgettable cast as far as cast of characters go, but still a good time. I still have fun with it. And yeah, that's I guess the best I can say about it. I definitely revisit it every time I marathon the films. Um, it's just not up to par with like Part 7 or these other ones for me. And then we've got next, and then we've also got here. Uh, J Man says, "Thank you, man. You're welcome." Yeah, definitely check out his video. And then Ross here says, "I've only seen the first and Freddy versus Jason." Well, if I'm going to be maybe spoiling some of these death scenes and other things for you. So if you haven't seen them all, then I'm sorry, Ross. But especially this one, I'm going to be spoiling in Friday the 13th Part 5, the big reveal. So Friday the 13th Part 5, A New Beginning. This is the one that came after the final chapter, which is regarded by most as the best of the franchise. This one comes out, and then it disappointed everyone. They pulled the Michael Myers season of the witch type thing on there, except maybe even more of a cop out because everyone thought that they got Jason in this movie because you see that's Jason the entire time chasing after them. But then the reveal is, oh, it's an imposter Jason. It's just a guy dressed up as Jason. And so that really kind of made people upset for rightfully so. I can see why people would be upset at that. And so to me, yeah, that's always been kind of a disappointing factor to it. My friend Dan, who you guys know, who will be co-running this channel, he actually has this as his favorite. He's always has those different controversial opinions, and I love that because I just debate with him back and forth because this is one of my least favorites. But it's not under the kill, kill, kill category because it does have some fun moments in there. Like I love the little kid in this film. I love the some of the deaths in this film, stuff like that. So it's not at the very, very bottom, but it would still be in the bad tier. And I will say this: the reason it's in the bad tier and not the kill, kill, kill tier is they set up something interesting. I thought at the end, making Tommy Jarvis, who's now an adult, making him go crazy and putting on the mask and holding the knife in his hand. I really thought that was a really cool place to take it. I'm glad they did what they did with Part 6 because Part 6 to me is maybe, spoiler alert, the best of the franchise. So I'm glad what they did with Part 6, but that's also would have been a cool direction to take things as well. And it also was directed by a porn director, so it has probably the most TNA of any Friday the 13th movie. We all know they're known for their TNA. It probably is the most. And I will say, out of all the films, it kind of feels the most forced and unwarranted and just kind of gross. I don't know. It feels kind of unnecessary when it's in there, in my personal opinion. And I'm fine with TNA. The next one I'm about to go to, the tent scene is going to please Robbie and all this stuff. I love me some TNA, but this film, I don't know. It just was kind of threw me off a bit. And then we've got Aiden says, I agree, Friday 3D is okay. And then Ross says, no big deal about the spoilers. And then we got Whorehead Heather, woo, 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 hey, says, hey, my people, just got home from birthday party. How is everyone? Oh, that's awesome. Hope you had fun at the birthday party. And then and then horror and metal maestro red rusty 66. I'll just call you Red Rusty. He's got an awesome channel too, guys. Says no Jason, only Tommy. LOL. And then and then Red Rusty says, I'm with Dan. Yes, it's only number 5 on my list, but I do like it the way he does. Nice. And then uh, not my kind of uh, tits and ass, but yeah, it does have a lot. It does, and I mean, and I'm fine with that stuff, especially in this franchise. But yeah, to me, they overdid it with it. So it's in the bad tier. Next, we've got Jason Goes to Hell. This movie should go to hell. We just talked about my friend Dan Movie Man and another friend of mine, Dan Filthy Dan. We all know he loves this movie, and I will never understand it, but I love him. This film is atrocious. I do not like this film at all. Now, there are things I do like. For example, Robbie, he also likes this film. Robbie is one of those guys who loves the tent scene. If you know about the tent scene from this movie, he absolutely loves it, and for good reason. That is a hot sex scene. Love that set. That is just super hot, and so I can understand why he loves that. Me personally, a movie is more than a sex scene, and the movie itself sucks. Jason talks in this film, technically. I mean, grunts, talks, however you want to say it, but he talks in this film, and was already a stupid enough choice. But then just, oh man, I don't know, just it's just so boring and just so weird and just it just does so many weird things that I just cannot get behind. Um, and I like the whole fact the Necronomicon is in this with the Book of the Dead with the dagger. Like that's really cool. That's a really cool nod. I like that you get Freddy's glove at the end, pulling Jason's mask down to tease Freddy versus Jason. That's cool because that's the one that came. Well, it came 2 installments after, but yeah, it's just I don't know. It's just I do not like this film, and I'm putting it on the kill tier. I do not like Jason Goes to Hell. Let's see what you guys are gonna say. Uh, Horrorhead Heather says I like Part 5. Would be in the second category for me. Fun time. I'm glad you like Part 5. That's awesome. That's all film is subjective, and that's the beauty of film. I'm glad you like Part 5. And then he says, "Yeah, I'm not with Dan on this one." Yeah, agreed. And then Horror Heather says, "Jason Goes to Hell is my least favorite of the franchise." Spoiler alert: it's my least favorite of the franchise too. I hate the film. So next up is another one that's not that good at all, and that is uh, Friday the 13th, Part 8. Jason takes a boat to Manhattan. Oh, wait, what? It's called Jason Takes Manhattan? I thought this was called Jason Takes a Boat to Manhattan. Oh, well, I like my Jason Takes a Boat to Manhattan title better. Why didn't the director think of naming it that? It's too long. Get out of here with that bullshit. Get out of here. No. Too long? Get out of here, man. Okay? No, I don't want to hear it. Okay? Because Part 8, Jason Takes a Boat to Manhattan would actually have been a lot better than Jason Takes Manhattan, because he's only in Manhattan for like what, 10 minutes of this movie. It's a slog to get through. You're sitting there waiting for him to get to Manhattan, and then whenever he does, there's maybe one good kill, and that's when he knocks the guy's head off. It's hilarious, but there's maybe one good kill in this whole movie. It is just so bad, and I've got to put it in the kill, kill, kill category. I love me Jeffrey Cool from Killer Flicks. But he has this as his second favorite of the franchise, and maybe he grew up with it. Maybe that's the reason why. I don't understand it personally, but hey, I'm glad there's other people who love it. The soundtrack's nice. I love the soundtrack, and I love all that stuff. But like, I don't know, this movie. And Kane Hodder obviously does a good job as Jason, but like the ending makes no sense. The whole him turning into a kid, and that was just weird, made no sense. And then you get the like it's bad. I can't even talk. I'm literally speechless talking about it. This film is just really bad to me. And then Horrorhead Heather says, agree. I don't like this film either. Barely above Jason Goes to Hell. Yeah. Like, I'll watch it in a marathon sometimes. Part 8. I completely avoid Part 9 in marathons. But Part 8 is just above Jason Goes to Hell for me. And he says, Aiden says, Friday the 13th Part 8 sucked so hard. And what was up with that ship was all its neon colors. And all of its neon colors. It felt out of place in the series. Yeah. It's like they were trying to go for a more hip and pop feel. And Friday the 13th is more known to be kind of more dark and atmospheric and kind of ghostly or all that stuff. However you want to describe it. I don't know if I have really good words to describe it, but it's really kind of supposed to fit that category, not bright and colorful. And so, yeah, that was really weird. Next up, we have got what maybe, I don't know, Part 6 might be the best of the franchise too, but I know that this is a hard argument for best of the franchise, and that is Friday the 13th Part 2. I love Part 2. It's got some of the most iconic cast of characters. Amy steals the show in this movie. She is the best final girl, I think, in the entire franchise. She is relatable. She's strong. She's badass. She's got everything you want. She's smart. So she's awesome in this movie. All the cast is great in this film. You've got, I think this is the one where Wheelchair Boy dies, which took it like, yo, that's kind of far. And then, Alice biting the dust at the beginning. It's like, that's a dark way to take it. It's like, oh, shoot, you killed the final girl from the first movie. And they did it way better than what Halloween Resurrection did with Laurie Strode. So they killed Alice at the beginning of this film. And yeah, Friday the 13th Part 2, I grew up with this film as well. This is one of the ones I grew up watching alongside Part 3. And a few of these, Part 3 and Part 1 and a few of these others. And as a kid, and even today, but especially as a kid, Sackhead Potato Sack Jason scared the bejeebies out of me, and he still kind of is pretty creepy. This Jason is pretty daggone freaky and effective, and I love the darkness of this film, and how they make Jason kind of feel almost human in a way. Like he actually gets his butt kicked sometimes in this film, but he also kicks ass as well too. So I love how they did that, and I also just, I love everything there's about this film. It's honestly, it's better than the first film to me. It's one of the best horror sequels ever made. So this is obviously going onto the slashic tier. Love Friday the 13th Part 2. And then Red Rusty here says Part 2 is my number 1. I am super happy to hear that because to me it might be the best of the franchise. May not be my favorite of the franchise, but it might be the best of the franchise, in my opinion. And it was the introduction to Jason. They just did it so well. I love it so much. Now, next up is the one that I would maybe put as my favorite in the franchise and maybe the best of the franchise, and that is Jason Lives. This film, I'm wearing the shirt. Jason Lives right here on my shirt. Love this movie. This movie's a blast. So much fun. Tommy Jarvis, Matthews is Tommy Jarvis, probably the best performance in the Friday the 13th film. You've got Graham. Help me out, chat. Why am I blanking on the name? This is my favorite one. I have Graham part down, but it's like Graham something is Jason in this film. It's CJ Graham. CJ Graham. That was it. Right. You got CJ Graham as Jason in this film. Just absolutely great. And then, yeah, there's just so many fun characters, fun kills, the paintball scene with the little smiley face. Like, this is the one I feel because every film prior, you had Friday the 13th Part 1 through Part 4 that tried to take itself seriously. And that was for better and for worse. Sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. This film, I thought, was still effective in its atmosphere, its mood, the way it creeped up on you, but also I thought this film was so effective at finally being self-aware. It knew what it was, and it took itself not too seriously sometimes. It would be weird and out there, and it knew that it was weird and out there, and I respected that decision from the director in this movie. And I love the look of Jason in this film. The kills are great. I actually rewatched this in black and white not too long ago, and that's a great way to watch it because there's just the cinematography has my favorite score of the franchise. The James Bond style opening credit sequence, so good. And this is the only Friday the 13th movie that does not have TNA. It does not have boobies. Does not have butts. Doesn't have any of that. And it didn't need it. This was all story focused, and I loved it. It was absolutely a fun time. And CJ Graham, his performance as Jason was just so good. I'm a fan because I already own the poster on my wall there. But I gotta say, Jennifer Cook. I wanted to make sure I got her name right. I was researching this real quick. Jennifer Cook as Megan Garris, one of the most underrated final girls in this whole franchise. Nobody talks about Megan. She's so good. I love the character of Megan in this film. She's just amazing. And to me, this is absolutely going on the slashic tier. It's just that good, guys. It's just that good. Let's hear what see what other people says. Here, the chat the chat's been rolling. Love it, guys. Love it. Forehead Heather says, I have part 2 at number 5. It's great. Jenny is my favorite final girl on the franchise. Awesome. And then Aiden says, Jason Lives is probably my favorite film in the series. You and me both, buddy. You and me both. We are always agreeing with each other. CJ Graham, he said that to help me out. Thank you, man. And then he says, I like 6, but it's only number 6 on my list. Hey, that's convenient. It was the last Friday I truly loved. All after are kind of parodies to me. I agree to this extent. I love part 7. As you can tell, I put it high up. But after 7, it's definitely gets. And there is another one, too, I love for nostalgia purposes that we're about to get to. Actually, next. And then Horad Heather says Jason Lives is number 3. I like most of the meta humor. Paintball scene was was a little silly for me, but everything else works. I can understand that. Paintball scene was kind of weird. She says, I felt weird not having boobs, though. Or it felt weird not having boobs, though. I can agree. Yeah, that's what the Friday 13th film did. But that's why it, took it to a whole new direction. Because it's like, you have sex, you die. And this one's like, you don't have sex. Oh, but you still die. Oh, okay. I guess that's how it... So it was actually a really cool spin on it. And John Travolta's nephew's in it. Next up, we've got Freddy versus Jason. Now, look, I'm going to say the unpopular thing here. I know, okay? I know, yes, this film has shitty characters, stupid characters. Yes, I know that this film is over the top, cheesy as hell. Yes, I know that, the dialogue can be pretty atrocious. Yes, I know all of that. That being said, this was probably one of the first R-rated movies I ever saw trying to be a rebel when I was young. And so this has so much nostalgia for me. I don't love, obviously, because it's got those problems, but I really do like Freddy versus Jason. It's a huge guilty pleasure for me. And those who say, oh, well, it's more of a Freddy movie, yes, he's the main character of the film, but watch it again because Jason is super prevalent. He's hugely prevalent in the film. It's both Freddy and Jason that are in there, like almost equally, at least for me. And just the whole idea of taking my favorite, at least at the time, horror slasher character, which is Freddy, and putting it up against one of my other favorites, which was Jason, having them go toe to toe, that just was like a dream come true for me. And you got Catherine Isabel looking hot as ever in this film, and it's just there's so many cool kills, like Jason folding the guy in half on the bed there, and Robert Englund came back, and I love that. But I do wish we could have gotten Kane Hodder as Jason in this film. He wanted to be Jason in this film, and I completely wish that could have happened. But the Jason that's in here does a really good job. I have fun with this movie that I'm putting it. Yes, I will get hate in the comments. This is going in the just a good old fun time tier. Because this to me is just a good old fun time. I sit back, relax, watch it, and enjoy every just goofy, bad CGI'd second of it. It's just pure early 2000s cheese. And I have fun with it. Horror Head Heather says Freddy vs. Jason uh, came out the summer before my senior year in high school. I was 17 and saw opening weekend. Oh, I'm so jealous. I wish I could have seen it in theaters. If I had a time machine, I would literally, people would use time machines to, you know, go and go back in time and save somebody or do this and that. For me, I just want to like go to opening weekend of Freddy vs. Jason or some big movie like that and just see what it was like on opening weekend. So I would waste any opportunity I had with a time machine. Uh, Says first Jason and Freddy movie I saw in theaters. It was awesome. Oh yeah, I love that. And then Aiden says Freddy vs. Jason, despite its flaws, it's so much fun. It is. That's why I put it in the just a good old fun time tier because it is just pure fun. And then you've got Red Rusty here says my Southern hospitality demands I not comment on Freddy versus Jason. I got that. And then Horrorhead Heather says the dialogue doesn't age well, but I still have fun with it. Not a cinematic masterpiece, but it's fun. Oh yeah, and none of these films, I don't think you're really going in expecting really a masterpiece. Uh, but all of them are fun to an extent, other than the ones at the very, very bottom. But all these other ones are fun. So yeah, that's Freddy vs. Jason. And then next up, guys, we've got Jason in Space. Jason X. Kane Hodder his final role as Jason, and this had the Mecha Jason. This film turns 20 years old this year. Jason in Space, Jason X. This film was another one I watched sometimes as a kid. I didn't grow up with it as much as Freddy vs. Jason, Part 3, Part 2, all that stuff. But I did watch this as a kid. And this film, even when I was young, it was good, but it was as a kid it was good, but now watching it again as an adult, yeah, this one was pretty bad. It's got it's got fun, cheesy moments in there. If you don't take it too seriously, I mean, it's not meant to be taken seriously. It's literally chasing space. But like, there's really only one, maybe two, because the sleeping bag kill is cool. But I mean, that's the same as pretty much the sleeping bag kill we already saw. But the ice kill where he sticks the girl's face in and then breaks her face, iconic. Love that kill. So yeah, it's got some cool kills in there. You've got some just really, I guess, eccentric characters, but to me, this film is just kind of boring, and it's just kind of too ridiculous for me. Really, like I know Friday 13th can get ridiculous, but this is a bit too ridiculous for me. It's not in the kill 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 category. I would put this in the bad category because it is bad. This is a bad movie. But I wouldn't lie to you if I said I had fun with it sometimes. And then Red Rusty says it's down at the bottom of my list for sure. I don't blame you. I can completely understand that because it ain't good. So we've got next up the Friday the 13th remake from 2009. Now, this I went back and forth on. This is the film that has so much good going for it, but it's also got a lot of bad going for it. So it's kind of split down the middle. The first 20 to 30 minutes of this film are just purely amazing. Purely fucking amazing. Some of the best stuff Friday the 13th has ever put out. But as it goes along, the dialogue gets really bad. The characters are really not that likable. And I just... Derek Mears is awesome as Jason. Probably one of my favorite Jason performances. This film was brutal. I just love how brutal it is. And it's got some awesome TNA in it and some nice boobs and all that stuff. That's really cool. But like some of the dialogue, especially, I facepalm every single time. Say hi to mommy. Like when that line is executed, it's such a badly executed line. Like I got what they were going for, but to me, that's on the same level of "Do your thing, cuz" from Texas Chainsaw 3D. That was like so bad. And so there are some of those issues that just bug me with this movie. But at the same time, like you see in my poster, I don't hate this movie. I own the poster. I mean, but granted, I hate that movie, the remake, and I still own that poster too. So don't go by my posters on whether I like movies or not. But I don't hate this movie. I don't even really dislike this movie. It's so weird. I would put this right down the middle in the okay tier. And what's funny is I actually have it playing right now because I'm rewatching it on Blu-ray right now. So I would actually get a better opinion on it after I'm done rewatching it. But to me, it's just one of those films that is just has so much good going for it, but also some bad going for it. So I have to put it in the okay tier. I'm interested to see what you guys say. Let's see, new comments. Why is it not going down? What is wrong with this thing? The world. Why is StreamYard doing this? I do not know why it will not let me view. I'm hitting the word new comments, the arrow down here. Why is it being so dumb? Okay, I guess I can scroll down the hard way. There. Jeez. Teh! First off, I want to take care of her head, Heather's thing. I like the ending where Jason comes to Earth as a flaming comet. That was funny, but also kind of ridiculous. Not gonna lie. And then Red Rusty says, "I liked it a lot. It is tied with my number 5. Nice. It's maybe once I get to my ranking, I'll tell you where I'd rank it. Remake is number 2 for me. I love it. Nice. I'm halfway through, and I am actually liking it more on this rewatch. So it might be under the just a good old fun time after this, but right now I have it split down the middle. And then she says, I love survival Jason. Oh yeah. The Jason at the very beginning of the film too, the one that I don't know if that's the one you're referring to. But the one that is like with the like brown looking, almost like scarecrow looking mask, like I love that Jason at the beginning. And then and then Aiden says, "Do your thing, cuz." LOL. Even Alexandra Daddario hated that line. True. And then Jason X's ending is comedy gold, is what Aiden says. Oh, that and the "come play with us, Jason," or whatever those girls say, like "come fuck us" or something like that. That's also comedy gold. So that's a reason why I don't have Jason X in the kill, kill, kill category, is because it's got some amazing comedic moments that make me laugh out loud. So, yeah. So that'll be it for my tier list. But here's how I'd rank them. So at number 12, bottom of the barrel trash, is Jason Goes to Hell. At number 11 is Friday the 13th Part 8. Jason Takes a Boat to Manhattan, right? No, okay. Jason Takes Manhattan. Whatever. Don't understand why they named it that. Then at number 9, I will put, or number 10. Yeah, I'm on number 10. Don't skip numbers, Michael. Number 10, I'm on Jason X because, like I said, it's bad. Really bad. But oh my God, is it hilarious. And then at number 9, I've got Friday the 13th Part 5, A New Beginning. And then at number 8, right now, I've got, I go back and forth between like my 8 and my 7. Right now, I'd probably, you know what? I might put number 8 as Friday the 13th Part 3, and then number 7 as Friday the 13th, as the Friday the 13th remake. That's going to switch a lot. I'll tell you that right now because that goes back and forth for me a lot. And then at number 6, I've got Freddy versus Jason. And then at number 5, I've got Friday the 13th Part 7. Number 4 is where I will put Friday the 13th Part 4. Is at number 4. And then I will put number 3, the original Friday the 13th. And then at number 2, I will put Friday the 13th Part 2. And then at number 1, I will have Jason Lives. So that is how I would rank the entire franchise. Some of those might switch up, like 7 and 8 with Part 3 and the remake, because those go back and forth a lot. And then Part 7 and Freddy vs. Jason switch on themselves a lot here and there too. But overall, that's how right now I would rank this franchise. Let me know what you guys think down below of this franchise. Are you a Friday the 13th guy? Is Jason your favorite killer, or is it Michael Myers? Is it Freddy? Let me know down below. And let me know how you guys would rank this franchise. I'd love to hear that. So sound off below, guys. Y'all know what to do. Like this video, subscribe, and also while you're at it, go check out his Jason Mike's Friday the 13th award show. This thing was so cool, with yours truly featured at the beginning. If you love the Friday the 13th franchise, he's the J-Man Movie Cave. Go over there, check out that video that he did. It is awesome. Horad Other says, glad to see Part 7 in the top 5. It needs love. Got one of the best third acts. Agreed. Love the third act of that film. And I just love the whole film too. I have so much fun with Part 7. So yeah, that'll be it for me, guys. Hope you all enjoyed this tier list. I will be back with another tier list soon, guys. I want to do the tier list of the DCEU with the Suicide Squad, because I have not gotten a chance to do that. So I will hopefully do that soon for you all. So I'm excited. And I'm glad you guys are enjoying these, because I love doing these for you guys. So I'm pretty busy, but I will be getting as many videos to you as I can. So love you all, guys. And y'all know what to do. Stay spooky, my friends.